Mark's world shattered the day Emily vanished. One moment she was in the backyard playing with her German Shepherd, Rex, her protector, her best friend. The next, she was gone. No footprints, no signs of struggle, nothing. Just an eerie silence that settled over the house like a heavy fog. The police searched every inch of the neighborhood, combed through security footage, and questioned everyone. No leads, no clues, no answers. Days turned into weeks, then months. The search parties dwindled. The headlines faded. People whispered that Emily had run away. But Mark refused to believe it. She loved home too much. She loved him too much. Yet, no matter how much he tried to fight the sinking feeling in his gut, reality remained cold and cruel. Emily was gone. But Rex never gave up. The dog still slept by her bed, waited by the front door, and every night, without fail, he barked. Not just anywhere, always at the same spot in the backyard. Rex had always been more than just a pet. He was Emily's shadow, her guardian. If she was sick, he wouldn't leave her side. If she was sad, he would nuzzle against her until she smiled. The bond between them was unbreakable. But since Emily's disappearance, something about Rex had changed. He refused to sleep unless he was near the back door. Every night, at the exact same time, he would get up, walk to the backyard, and start barking at the base of the old oak tree. At first, Mark thought it was just grief. Maybe Rex was calling for Emily, hoping she would somehow return. But as the weeks passed, the barking became more desperate. Some nights, he would scratch at the ground, whining loudly, his tail stiff and alert. Neighbors began to notice. Some said it was just a habit. Others believed it was a sign. But Mark? He was too lost in his own pain to see the truth staring him in the face. Mark tried everything to quiet Rex. He brought him inside, closed the windows, even moved his dog bed into his own room. But nothing worked. At exactly 11:45 p.m. each night, Rex would break free, run to the backyard, and bark at the same spot. Mark convinced himself it was just the dog mourning Emily. After all, he was grieving too. Maybe this was just Rex's way of coping. But deep down, a strange feeling gnawed at him. Why only at that spot? Why only at night? And why did Rex look at him with those pleading eyes, as if begging him to follow? One night, in frustration, Mark yelled at Rex to stop. The dog whimpered but didn't move. Instead, he sat by the tree, ears perked, and tail still, watching, waiting. Mark sighed, running a tired hand down his face. He was too exhausted for this, too broken, too lost. He turned away, locking the door behind him. He didn't know that Rex was trying to save him from a truth he wasn't ready to face. The night it happened, the storm raged outside. Thunder cracked, lightning flashed, and rain poured down in torrents. But Rex didn't care. His barking was different this time. Louder, more frantic, filled with something primal. It wasn't just a call. It was a demand. Mark had had enough. His heart was already raw from months of emptiness, and now Rex was losing his mind over what? A patch of dirt? Furious, he stormed outside, rain soaking through his clothes. "What is it, Rex? What do you want?" he shouted. Rex didn't hesitate. He began to dig. Mark's anger froze in his chest. He watched as the dog's paws clawed at the wet ground, flinging mud aside. His heartbeat quickened, and then he saw it. A tiny mud-covered shoe. Emily's shoe. Mark's hands trembled as he stared at the remains. His body felt paralyzed, his mind caught between grief and horror. It didn't make sense. Emily had vanished, there had been no sign of foul play. But she hadn't just disappeared. She had been buried. Rex whined softly beside him, nudging his arm. And then the memories came back. The last day he had seen Emily. The way she had gone outside, alone. The stepmother who had insisted she had simply run away. The way the backyard had always felt off. Mark's stomach twisted. It couldn't be, but the truth was staring him in the face, and it had been barking at him every night. By morning, police cars surrounded the backyard. Officers taped off the area, digging deeper. The evidence was undeniable. And then, the final blow. The truth unraveled in a way Mark had never expected. Emily's stepmother. She had always been distant, cold. She had never truly cared for Emily. And when Emily discovered something she shouldn't have, something dark, something dangerous, she had silenced her and buried the truth beneath lies. But lies don't stay buried forever. And Rex had never stopped trying to speak the truth. Mark sat on the porch, tears rolling down his face, staring at the backyard. Emily was finally at peace. Rex lay beside him, his head resting on Mark's lap. For the first time in a year, he wasn't barking. The truth had been heard. Justice had been served. And Mark finally understood. Sometimes the truth isn't spoken in words. Sometimes it barks until someone listens.